Hello guys, welcome back, and in today's video we're gonna go over the 1.5 tier list for global in general, the game in general, Limbo, and mains Bulletin for current iteration of mains Bulletin. Now it's we only like almost halfway through 1.5, so we don't have much and we don't have information about Ezra yet, but we do know a good amount of information about Spadodias and her worth, her power, and Ulu as well, right? So we're going to touch on that briefly. This is not going to be a Spadodias deep dive. We're going to do that in another video. And today I also want to touch on the subject of power creep, right? Because some people are yelling power creep, are still shouting power creep, power creep, power creep, power creep. Do you even understand what power creep is? Do you understand what it is? It's the concept, the event of a character releasing being so much powerful that invalidates every other character. So if you don't pull that character, you're not going to be able to clear the content anymore, or as good, or win PvP or something if you don't pull for the newest character. I understand the concept of I still want to get it because it's stronger, cool, yep, okay, sure, but the characters that you still have are still very, very much viable. So it's up to you at that point, wanting to pull for a newer character because it's a little stronger. It makes sense, sure, but do not go yell power creep, because even though technically it's true, it doesn't really affect the game at all, because you're just getting a more powerful character that does like a little bit better, a little bit more damage maybe. Not even that in many cases. So old characters are still going strong, as you can see here. And the biggest thing is there is no competition in Reverse 1999. There's no leaderboard. There's no score leaderboard. There's no PvP. Maybe they will put it in the game once in the future, maybe a leaderboard. But for now, there's nothing like that. So what are you rushing for? What are you comparing yourself with? Okay, now you can clear Limbo in 3 turns instead of 5. Okay, now what? You're still gonna get the same amount of gems, whatever they call the clear drops, right? So with that in mind, I still think we shouldn't think about power creep too much until we get some sort of competition or leaderboard or scoreboard, right? It doesn't even matter on mains Bulletin, in my opinion, because like after you get all of the good rewards, doing SS or triple S doesn't really change your account too much. You're gonna miss out on like 30 golden thoughts. Okay, so what? Like it's like 3 days of the daily sideshoe stage. Like what, bro? Right? So as you can see, let's move on. And as you can see in global, this is the 1.5 so far global tier list. As you can see, this is from December 2nd, so it's kind of recent, like 1 week ago. And as you can see, that this like actually confirms what I'm saying, what I've been saying. You have Tooth Fairy and Changeling in T0. Again, they're 1.3 characters. If power creep was a thing, we would see Spadodias, 6, 37, Ulu, all in the top, right? But it's not the case. They're good, sure, but it's not like they're the best every time, right? As you can see here, for example, even though current content in 1.5, it's weak to beast and plant, right? So it's a star and plant, right? So it's like beast, star and plant. So it's like beast and plant. Yeah, makes sense. So beast and plant are of course gonna be boosted up, and you're gonna have Jessica here on T0 on because of it, probably. Otherwise she would be like T05 or something, right? Tooth Fairy is still holding strong as the best healer, I guess. The strongest healer that's like not even close. And then we have Jessica for probably like the fact that she's strong again. The Flatus, it's perfect for her fighting the star, and probably because of the poison, and she's probably carrying Sotheby. That's why she's in T1 with her, because it's you always play them together, okay? And Spadodia is here. She's not like at the top. She's not T0. She's like T5, and she's with Centurion and Melania, right? there are 1.0 and 1.1 characters. So think about the thing that I said just now, like the power creep. So it's not like she's incredibly stronger than Centurion. Now your Centurion doesn't do anything anymore. Your Centurion was doing 20k. Oh, Spadodia came out. Now she's doing 10k. It's not that, right? So you can clear anyway, so you don't have to pull for any character unless you like them or you like how they play or you like the visuals, right? In my opinion, like in my case, I have Melania, but I will still pull for Spatodia because I like how she plays. She punches. I like the punches. I like the animations. I like the visuals. I like almost everything about the character. I would have done I2 a little bit cooler in my opinion, like the story version of her, which is way cooler. I would have wanted that as a I2, but it is what it is. So yeah, even though I don't need a beast, I'm gonna pull for it anyway. But that's fair. That's normal. It's what's not normal if that like you have Centurion and you go like, oh no, Spatodia is better than Centurion. Okay, I guess my account is ruined now. It's not. Okay, so moving on, we have 6 here. 6 is in my opinion, after you get Tooth Fairy and or Changeling, and 1.3 is done. You have your teams that you want to have, or you skipped whatever you want to skip. The next must pull, in my opinion, is 6 because it's so powerful that it's not even funny. This might be the only character that I actually say like that you have to pull, right? Like this one is gonna be a crazy value for your account. So the others are just like good units in general. But we also have 2 extra like surprises here because like Shamana's Beast makes sense. Beacon Bloom and a Leader Strong. So and then we have Pickles because it's a support, which makes sense. And then we have Black Dwarf. Black Dwarf is mineral, so is Pickle, but Black Dwarf it's a hyper carry. So for Black Dwarf to be here, it means that she's really, really good. Okay. Now, this doesn't invalidate your Eternity, okay? It's just for people that have Black Dwarf. She's still really, really strong, and we are 2 patches after, right? And she's still going T0.5. That said, it's even a better thing to think about that Eternity is in T1. Eternity is a 1.0 character. It's been like 7-8 months since the character came out from like the release of the game, and she's still T1. So all of these characters, most of these characters are T1. There are T1 are from 1.0. Keep that in mind. A Knight, Druvis, that everybody was talking shit about. Eternity, Charlie, Medicine Pocket, Regulus, Lilia, okay, Voyager, Balloon Party, which is a 5-star. So you can tell the value of these characters that are still here. That's why power creep, in my opinion, doesn't really mean anything in Reverse 1999 for now. Because as you can see, there's many 1.0 characters still going strong in today's 1.5 after like 5 patches. That's a lot, guys. So let's talk about 37 and Ulu, and then we move on with the next one, okay? So 37 is here because she's not on the good of Flatus anymore. Like she's not countering anyone anymore because they are star and plant, so it doesn't matter. They're not mineral anymore, so having 37 there doesn't really do much. And also, I'm pretty sure this is not P5, this is P0. So all of these characters are P0, which means that the 37 is losing a lot of Eureka stacks. So if you don't play her with Lilia, which is another inconvenience for many accounts that don't have Lilia or Babel, she's losing even more frequency on her following attack. That one. I think it's called following attack, right? Now, let me talk about Ulu briefly. Ulu is here just because she only works with, or you only want to use her with Spatodias. Also, if you have Ulu I3, like if you're getting Spatodia, you have to get Ulu as well. You want to hope to get at least one Ulu from her banner, because you kinda need them together to make Spatodia do as much damage as possible. Even a P5, I think. Like in my opinion, a P5 Spatodia still need a Ulu to make the burn stacks work, because the burn stack are a little are a little weird. Like you apply a lot, but they half every time they trigger, so it's hard to maintain a certain threshold you need to maintain for Spatodia to do maximum damage, which is the main reason why you want to use Hulu. And Hulu is here just because you only use Hulu with Spatodia. You don't use Hulu with anybody else that I know of for now. So that's why she's only T2, because like this the only use for her is with Spatodia. But if you have her I3 and you use it with Spatodia, she's really good because she can boost damage with a bonus boost if you have 15 stacks of burn on the enemy. She has on I3, she applies by default on the start of the turn stacks of burn on every enemy by like AoE. It's like automatically, it's not even a card, so you can keep the stacks up in a better way, more efficiently, if you have Ulu I3 with Spatodia. Otherwise, they're going to drop down and you're going to have to waste a lot of turns charging. But we'll talk about Spatodia in a second, in a deep dive video that I will do eventually, like soon. So this was global. Before we check mains bulletin, let's check Limbo, and then we check mains bulletin. So as you can see, Limbo is weak to plant and beast. So all of the beasts are here. Now T0 is here, right? But Spatodia is here, but Centurion is 0.5. You have to understand that this is not that big of a deal, okay? You should stop acting like it's like Spatodia is rank 1 and Centurion is rank 59, okay? It's almost right there. I'm pretty sure it's just because she does a lot of damage with the burn stacks, and then which means that she does a little more damage than Centurion, but this doesn't lower Centurion's damage, right? So you shouldn't care about this too much. Then we have Melania. I think she's here because of the damage plus Moxie removal. Like she applies a certain way in a certain way you can say CC, like a crowd control, which is Moxie removal. So I think it falls under the crowd control category. And then we have the usual suspects and 6. That's why I'm 6 fanboy at the moment, because like he's very powerful and is like universal, and it transcends everybody else, just like Tooth Fairy. Everywhere you want to put 6 is gonna do wonders. So especially in stages where you have 4 mana, you can have 2 supports or 2 damage healers or 2 healers. You can use him, and you will have space for him in that situation as well. In 0.5 we have Shamane, which is still going strong, even though it's 1.3, it's still going strong. Then we have Centurion and all of the 1.0 characters with Pickles, right? So Sotheby is here because of Changeling, let's be honest. Bacon Bloom is still strong as hell, as usual. Druvis, plant, that's why, probably. Otherwise, she would be probably like T1. And then we have 37 here. I'm assuming 37 is here just because, okay, she drops a little bit of value, but she still does a decent amount of damage as a support / DPS, okay? But since the fact that what do you run 37 with Lilia, right? So they're together and they're like okay, right? They're like okay, decent. And then we have the off of Flados characters, which is Black Dwarf, Eternity. You see that they're like on the same tier in this case. Doesn't matter, guys. Pull for whatever you like. A Knight still going super strong, as you can see. You always see A Knight everywhere. So all of you A Knight enjoyers, congrats. You got like one of the best characters ever in the game. What can I say? Giga Chad. And then we have Regulus here. I feel like Regulus it's here. I mean, because of the Aflatus disadvantage, but she's still pretty good because she applies also some sort of value besides damage, right? With the dodge. So she could. That's why she's tier 1. Otherwise, she would probably. If she didn't have that, she would probably be T2. Then we have Sonetto, still going strong, free character by the way, and Balloon Party. All the Balloon fans out there, rejoice. Balloon Party is still going strong because of the. I mean, globally, even though she has the wrong Aflatos, quote unquote, she applies always the good stuff. big healing below 50%, balloon of sturdiness, let's call it. Then you have the counter, and so there's a lot, right? T2 we have Ulu, and makes sense because you only use Ulu with Spadodea. Voyager is a little surprising. I think it's because of all of these CC that maybe you don't need sometimes, right? And she's the wrong Afflatus. So it's a little surprising to see her here. And we're talking about P0, so that's probably Charlie. That's probably why Charlie's not T1. I would have put it T1 if she was like P5, let's say. Kanjira, it's understandable that she's here. Because Kanjira is a little weird when it comes to gameplay. There you have 3 divination dances and only 1 applies poison. Otherwise, you don't really want to use Kanjira for anything, right? So you have better characters to do what she does. And in this, if you have Sotheby, that's why Sotheby is used basically all of the time with Jessica instead of Kanjira. And that's why Kanjira drops down. Ulu is situational. Satsuki it's only used with Druvis most likely, so that's why she's T2. Dick is like it's a good healer, but at this point you have many other healers that are used instead of. It's like, okay, if you want to use Jessica, you have to use Sotheby, right? If you have Jessica, you probably pull for Sotheby as well. So Dick falls down not because she's bad, but because she's like the lowest option. Like you would use Medicine Pocket before you use Dick, so that's why she's here too. Doesn't mean that she doesn't work, but yeah. Tenant for shields, but again. She gets outclassed by newer characters or different types of characters. For example, Medicine Pocket. Why would you use Tenant if you have Medicine Pocket, right? Or Tooth Fairy? It's not because she doesn't provide quality, but because she has a kit that you don't necessarily need every time, right? Sometimes you want to just heal. You need some debuff and heal, right? So the kit is probably too situational to be used that much. Still T2 though, pretty good. Lilia dropping down again. I mean, she's not the right Afflatus, so that's why. And we know the problem with Lilia. Surprisingly, if you're missing for somehow every single beast, you can probably use Sweetheart and still do good. The only sad side here is to see Blarney and Horrorpedia, especially Blarney on T3. I guess because like she's losing the damage race against other stars, and she also needs to have like a sort of setup before she actually deals damage. So unless you have her P5, maybe P5 is gonna be like T2 or T1 or T1.5 or T2.5 or T2. So higher than T3. That's what I'm saying. Otherwise, like P0, it makes sense that she's here because the damage is okay, but you need to do a proper setup to have okay damage, which is like, ooh, right? So a lot of people just have all the characters and use them instead. If you have a star, they use Charlie instead of Blarney, right? So Diggers and Babel and Baby Blue are here because they're not really used, okay? If you have Shamane, you don't use Babel or Diggers. So that's why they're here. They're not bad, but if you have them built, sure, go ahead. They're gonna work. I'm just saying that, like, if you have all of the characters in the game, you would not use them instead of better versions like Shaman, for example, okay? Or Beacon Bloom for reality. So you don't use, but let's not forget about the utility that they give. For example, Fear and Nightmare. It's still good in my opinion. So even though they're tier 3, if you have them built, you're still gonna get a lot of value from them. Even though they're tier 3, they're shit. They're not. Okay, they're lower priority than others. If you have another version of the same kit, for example, Shamane. Oh, but Shamane doesn't do anything about debuffing besides debuffing. So if you need other CCs, other type of CCs, these could potentially, funny enough, help you more than Shamane. Because if you apply Nightmare and you don't attack them, they sleep for like 3 turns on the case of Diggers, and you're gonna charge up or whatever you need to charge up and then blast them, and then they wake up and they're dead, right? So, and the last is basically situational. So those characters are situational, the usual stuff. Now on Main's Bulletin, let's make it faster. On Main's Bulletin, we have the usual suspects. As you can see, Centurion is still here, so I don't want to hear anyone saying Centurion is bad now because Spatudi is here and Melania. No power creep. There's no power creep. Okay, shut up. Jessica 6, classic, and then we have Tooth Fairy even lower, but it's because of these characters are like insane, right? And Melania for the Moxie removal. I feel personally, I feel like I did a good decision picking up Melania for value, because like I'm getting rewarded a lot. Melania is still going super strong, and in T1 we have the usual suspects, and also Lilia comes back, right? So because like you're fighting bosses, and I'm assuming like overall you get a good amount of damage from Lilia. Now I haven't fought all of the bosses. There might be a boss that has a flattest disadvantage against Lilia, and that's why she's there. I've only done the first boss, which is the robot, the big robot in the museum, and then after that there is the flower and the Hydra. One of these two might be weak to Star, and that's why she's here. But I'm glad to see that she's always kind of relevant. So even though she has all of these problems, all of this downside, still going strong. And then you can see here Black Dwarf here. I think she's called Caravana, right? I think I've seen like some people calling her Caravana. That's a cool name. That's a way better than Black Dwarf. But I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments if she's called Caravana. I think some people said that. I'm assuming it's true. And then we have Shamane and Pickles, classic. Balloon Party going strong. It's because of the value that she provides as a healer. And Tooth Fairy, no surprise. Druvis still going strong. So a lot of the Druvis enjoyers that suffered the trash talk in the past, now they're like, now they're laughing. Now they're really laughing hard. T2, these characters, 37 dropping down. So again, from the other video, if you want to skip 37, perfectly understandable. Just play Charlie, right, for damage. Tenant, popping off. Dike, still going strong. A-Knight, Eternity, still going strong. Voyager, Sonetto, free character, by the way. Sweetheart. So, these characters, I think up to tier 2, you are chilling. You're not going to do SS. You're not going to do triple S in Main's Bulletin, but you're not missing that many rewards from it. You're missing like 3 blue materials and like 10k dust, and then SSS is 30 golden thoughts and like 3 blue items, like 6 Sharpodonti, 6k Sharpodonti. There's nothing there, right? I understand that you want to get to SSS, but you have to, I guess, plan your pools. And if you didn't plan your pools, go check my video, my previous video. Maybe you're gonna get some tips from that video, right? And tier 3, usual. Sadly, Blonde is up down here because for the reason that I just told you. They're the same as Limbo, in my opinion. And then those are situational. And we have some not used characters, which are Kanjira, Horpedia, and Diggers. The others are situational. I mean, I guess last source if you don't have any other healers somehow. But yeah, the others are situational. If you need some like weird gimmick or mechanic or certain CC combination, you can use those. Otherwise, that's it. Hopefully it was clear enough. Hopefully you got a little bit of insight on what's to come, and maybe now you're more relaxed about your current roster or your plans. Maybe now your plans are more cemented in your mind. Now, okay, now you're sure to go here, go there, get this character, get that character. So the newer characters are always doing good. So are the 1.0 characters. So I wouldn't worry too much. Just pick up whoever you like, and as you can see, even though not everybody is going for Shaman, Shaman is still going super, super strong, right? So you're not missing out on anything. You will not miss out on the content besides the whale stages. But if you're not a whale, why are you even pointing? Why are you even trying to do that? Okay, you're gonna hit a wall, and there is a reason why, right? We need the whales. We need the whales because the game is an ecosystem. So the whales need to eat the plankton, and the plankton is the free-to-play. If the free-to-play doesn't play, because it's not free-to-play friendly, then the whale doesn't have a reason to exist, because it's like, okay, I can't eat here. I'm gonna go to another place to eat, right? Quote unquote, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. See you next time.